Lane 4 is a performance development consultancy. We work with organisations to help them transform their businesses and performance through people.
I remember my first meeting with Lane 4 in the canteen at our offices in Hemel.
We met them and liked the people we met and have worked with them over the last 4 years now.
I really got a sense of an organisation that would coach us to high performance.
Originally when Currys came to us, it was to discuss an organisational change programme, looking at projects around supply chain, customer experience, and sort of looking at the formats of stores.
The key things that Currys needed from Lane 4 was how to really inspire and engage the colleagues.
There was a real awareness with the senior leadership team that something needed to change.
The style of leadership at that particular point had been really quite controlling, quite autocratic.
Everybody was blaming everybody else as to what was going on.
We had a real shocker over Christmas and said actually a lot is going to change in this business to make it better.
Lane 4's role in this programme was to actually lead it for us.
We were able to provide an alternative viewpoint on what coaching could be like within an organisation.
They had the skill and the knowledge to actually coach us and give us the tools for the future.
We started first of all to help them create a Currys story, start to look at their performance environment, what the main leadership messages they were telling through the business.
What Lane 4 did was get the team together, aligned, and understanding and knowing what each of us brought to that story. Lane 4 introduced us to some really useful models to help us think about the business.
Some of our research has shown that high performance is created out of 4 key elements: well-being, innovation, internal process and achievement. And organisations typically focus on achievement and internal process, which is really down the current end of performance, whereas organisations that think more about innovation, staying ahead of the competition, and well-being, which is more around getting the right people in the right place, they're organisations that are really geared up for the future.
So as a leadership team we had this vision, and our challenge then was how do we make that change happen?
We needed to engage first of all the Currys executive team, because without leadership it wouldn't have happened.
They really looked at their own development as a team and really challenged themselves as individuals. This wasn't a case of just asking other people to do things differently.
Lane 4 then helped the leadership team communicate that vision to the people that worked for us. We established a meeting called the ELF, affectionately, which stands for the Electricals Leadership Forum.
They really wanted to get the top 100 leaders within the business to come together about every quarter.
And the forum gives them an opportunity to contribute to the strategy.
And involved really the executive team sharing what the story was, really engaging and getting them involved in developing what that looked like.
Whilst people wanted to undertake this journey, they knew they didn't have all the skills they needed to do that. Lane 4 and the business between us, we developed a programme called the High Performing Leaders Programme.
When I was invited to go on to the High Performing Leaders Programme, I was really pleased. It felt like as a company we were starting to invest in developing our people.
It was built around a set of leadership principles, like we will coach and develop our people, we will innovate for our customer. The power of them is that they really align the way our leaders work.
The High Performing Leaders programme consisted of 3 two-day workshops. The first workshop was around developing their skills as performance coaches. They formed action learning groups.
Learning support groups really helped me through the change in leadership styles, because it was a safe environment in which you could practice new ways of working with people.
The second workshop was then around them as a performance leader and the ability to be positively demanding. And then the final workshop was around developing the ability to be mentally tough, to be resilient, not just in themselves but within their people.
If you're asking leaders to behave in a certain way, you have a responsibility to teach them how to do that. And that's all High Performing Leaders is about. Lane 4 were really critical with helping us with the leadership work.
It's a High Performing Leaders programme developed in particular the regional managers that were then absolutely critical in the hot housing.
My Lane 4 training has given me the skills to go into a store and recognise when things look good and feel good.
Lane 4 also for me as a sports-based consultancy had a very powerful concept of high performance.
Being coached by high-performing athletes of the past and quite present was fantastic.
The strength of athletes recounting their stories gave us something aspirational.
Performance in its wider context, like creating a high-performance environment, is more than just driving towards numbers.
They really took a group of people and developed their managerial skills into leadership. Actually being a leader of the change has been absolutely fantastic.
It's made us more self-aware of our leadership styles.
Spend much more time now
observing, questioning.
High Performer Leaders Programme confirmed to me that I had to do business a different way.
It helped instill a sense of belief with us as an organisation and a leadership team that we could deliver this.
Currys is now a far more positive place to work.
I believe I've become far more approachable as an individual.
When I think back over 3 years, the amount of change we've undertaken is huge.
We feel like winners again.
There's no going back as far as I'm concerned.